Hey guys, it's 48 Sharks. Go ahead and subscribe if you haven't yet. We're talking to AI. Let's get into it. So, I asked the ChatGPT. This is ChatGPT plus 2, I believe. I'm not actually sure. Based on the format, you kind of know what this is if you haven't heard about it by now. It's an AI system that basically reacts and remembers and can take things into context like a human would. So, this video, I was watching a Shark Tank short about venture debt, and I wasn't sure what venture debt was. And so we had a little talk with ChatGPT. And so this is how it began. I'm going to recite my parts, and I'm going to play ChatGPT's parts on a voice to text machine. That way, if you guys are listening in the car, or if it's just an audio podcast or whatnot, you can hear its reply. So, I was originally asking it other questions about AI and destroying the world and whatnot, and we ended on a good note. And it asked if I had any other questions. So I said yes. Would you be able to explain in a very simple way what venture debt is and how it works? And so this is the reply that it gave me. Obviously, you probably have already read it, but just so that way we have the audio of it. This is its reply.
Certainly. Venture debt is a type of financing that is provided to early-stage, high-growth companies, typically startups, which have already raised equity funding from venture capital investors. Venture debt is a loan, rather than an equity investment, which means that the company must pay it back with interest over time. The advantage of venture debt is that it can provide additional capital to companies without diluting the ownership stakes of the existing shareholders. It is also often easier and quicker to obtain than equity funding, and can be used for a variety of purposes such as funding growth, expanding operations, or making acquisitions. Venture debt providers typically look for companies with strong revenue growth, a clear path to profitability, and a solid management team. They may also require collateral or personal guarantees from the company's founders or management team. Overall, venture debt can be a useful tool for startups to access additional capital without giving up more ownership in their company, but it's important to carefully consider the terms and conditions of the loan and weigh the benefits against the potential costs.
So then, after that, I took a second, and so I asked it, just to clarify, I'm like, so basically you're gaining debt plus interest in order to avoid the financer gaining equity of the company, right? And so it went ahead and it replied.
Yes, that's one way to look at it. By taking on venture debt, a company can raise additional capital without having to sell more equity and dilute the ownership stake of existing shareholders. Instead, the company takes on a loan which must be repaid with interest over time. The venture debt provider doesn't receive ownership in the company, but instead earns a return on the loan through interest payments and other fees. It's important to note, however, that venture debt can still be risky for startups, and they need to carefully consider the terms and costs of the loan before taking it on.
Okay. So, what protection do financiers providing venture debt actually have against companies if they fail to pay back the loan?
Venture debt providers typically have a number of protections in place to mitigate the risk of default or non-payment. These protections may include security interest or collateral. The venture debt provider may require the company to pledge specific assets, such as intellectual property, equipment, or accounts receivable, as collateral for the loan. If the company defaults on the loan, the venture debt provider can seize the collateral and sell it to recoup some or all of the outstanding debt. Personal guarantees. The venture debt provider may require personal guarantees from the company's founders or management team, which means that they are personally liable for the debt if the company is unable to repay it. This can be a significant risk for the founders or management team, as they may be putting their personal assets on the line to secure the loan. Covenants. The venture debt provider may require the company to meet certain financial or operational covenants, such as maintaining a certain level of revenue or profitability, or limiting the amount of additional debt the company can take on. If the company breaches these covenants, the venture debt provider may be able to accelerate the loan and demand immediate repayment. Overall, venture debt providers have a range of tools at their disposal to protect their investment and mitigate the risk of default or non-payment. However, it's important for startups to carefully consider the terms and conditions of the loan and ensure that they have a clear path to repay the debt before taking it on.
And then, so at that point, it got me thinking, and I accidentally typed enter. I was originally asking it a question. What type of loan would you recommend a new business trying to get, or what type of loan would you recommend a new business to try getting based on how lucrative it is? The risk factors. Oh my God, this is like word vomit. What type of loan would you recommend a new business to try to get? Oh my God, why can I not say this? What type of loan would you recommend a new business to try getting based on how lucrative it is, the risk factors, the benefits, etc.? What is a new business's? And then that's where I accidentally sent it. So then my next thing was, sorry, disregard my last question. What I meant to type was, what type of loan would you recommend a new business to try getting based on how lucrative it is, the risk factors, the benefits, etc.? What is a new business's best and safest bet? And ChatGPT coming in with the answers as always. It replied,
"No problem, I can definitely help with that. For a new business, the best and safest type of loan will depend on several factors, including the business's financial situation, its creditworthiness, and its growth prospects. Here are some common types of loans that new businesses might consider. SBA loans. SBA loans are government-backed loans offered by the Small Business Administration. These loans can be a good option for new businesses that may not qualify for traditional bank loans, as they typically have more flexible requirements and lower interest rates. Business lines of credit. A business line of credit is a revolving credit account that allows a business to borrow up to a certain amount, repay it, and then borrow again as needed. This can be a good option for new businesses that need short-term funding for unexpected expenses or to manage cash flow. Equipment financing. Equipment financing is a type of loan that is used specifically to purchase equipment or machinery for a business. The equipment itself serves as collateral for the loan, which can make it easier for new businesses to qualify. Invoice financing. Invoice financing is a type of loan that allows businesses to borrow against their outstanding invoices. This can be a good option for new businesses that have a lot of outstanding invoices but need cash flow to cover operating expenses. It's important for new businesses to carefully consider their financial situation and growth prospects before taking on any type of loan. They should also shop around and compare rates and terms from
compare rates and terms from different lenders to ensure they are getting the best possible deal. It got cut off at the end there. So then, based on all that, I asked it, what are the 3 easiest, most easily successful, and financially worth businesses to create from scratch, and how? And so then we got this reply.
Determining the easiest and most financially successful businesses to create from scratch is difficult, as success depends on a variety of factors, such as the market, the competition, and the entrepreneur's skills and resources. However, here are 3 business ideas that have the potential to be financially rewarding and relatively easy to start. E-commerce store. With the rise of online shopping, starting an e-commerce store has become easier than ever. Entrepreneurs can start an online store selling a variety of products, either by creating their own products or by sourcing them from wholesalers. They can then use social media, search engine optimization, and other marketing tactics to drive traffic to their website and increase sales. Home cleaning services. Home cleaning services are in high demand, and the business can be started with relatively low overhead costs. Entrepreneurs can offer a variety of cleaning services, from deep cleaning to regular housekeeping, and can market their services to busy families, professionals, and other customers who don't have the time or inclination to clean their homes themselves. Personal tutoring. With the increased emphasis on education and learning, personal tutoring is a growing industry. Entrepreneurs with expertise in a particular subject, such as math or science, can offer their services to students of all ages. They can work one-on-one with students or offer group tutoring sessions, and can market their services to parents, schools, and other organizations. Of course, success in any business requires hard work, dedication, and a willingness to adapt and pivot as needed. Entrepreneurs should carefully research their market, competition, and customer needs before starting any business, and should be prepared to invest time and resources to ensure their success.
All right. So at this point, I thanked ChatGPT for its help, and it replied.
Determining the easy Yuri welcome. If you have any more,
Sorry, it replied.
you're welcome. If you have any more questions or need further assistance, feel free to ask.
So, I decided to go one bit further, and I asked it, any final thoughts? And before we end the conversation in the video, this is what it said. Actually, pretty interesting.
My final thought would be to encourage you to pursue your goals and passions with determination and a willingness to learn and adapt. Starting a new business can be challenging, but with the right mindset and resources, it is possible to achieve success. Remember to do your research, seek advice from experts, and don't be afraid to pivot if your initial plans don't work out. Good luck on your entrepreneurial journey.
Haha. All right. So, yeah, I hope you guys found this a little bit educational, a little bit helpful, a little bit interesting, a little bit scary, a little bit informative, a little bit, of everything. Um, we discussed loans and whatnot. I just realized I scrolled up and you can see the chat I had about AI and emotions. Every now and then I try to have conversations with AI because you never know. But so we went over some loans and, how they can help small businesses and, some ideas of small businesses and how to start them. And, it's not an easy thing, but don't be afraid to pivot. Pivoting is definitely essential. I love that he said pivot. You got to learn how to pivot. So yeah, if you haven't, subscribed yet, go ahead and hit subscribe. We're past 500, which I honestly could not believe, and we're heading towards 1,000. We're almost at 600. So I think less than 1% or less than 2%. I know definitely less than 5% of all viewers subscribe. I have like 14,000 hours of watch time or something like that, but I don't have my 1,000 subs yet. So go ahead, hit that subscribe button, and let's see where we can go, man. Let me make money so I can just start throwing it out at you guys. Let me support your businesses. Me and ChatGPT, we got ya.
Root toot toot roo, ri ti ti tri, rat ta 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 ra. Subscribe, subscribe.